Welcome to Oops, All Apocalypses, a show where we explore the collapse of society by playing fun, tabletop role-playing games. I'm your host, Stu Masterson, and I'm joined by one Metapod and one Kakuna.
Ooh, I want to be... Oh, gosh. I'm going to go with Kakuna.
Absolutely baffling choice. You just like Beedrill better?
Yeah, I like Beedrill, but Beedrill gets a mega evolution. So I can bulk up and be strong.
I don't care.
Well, here, let's. Do you know what they look like?
Metapod's way cooler.
I know what Kakuna looks like.
Kakuna Matata is the worst Pokemon. Metapod looks cool as shit.
I think I remember what Metapod. Yeah, I know Metapod. Metapod's cool.
You become a beautiful butterfly.
Hey everybody, I'm Brady, and I don't care if I'm Kakuna or Metapod, but I'm Metapod, and I play Book McCready, the squid-spearing sleuth who is descending into the depths of the Moonwell and into the mysteries of his past.
That's pretty good.
And I'm Kakuna. I play Jacob, and I play Ocean, a dangling damsel that book here is going to have to save, it seems.
Or maybe already saved, depending on how the edit goes. Well, this week, like every week. Do we have any fun news this time?
We just had our 50th episode. We just blew apart all our great news.
Yeah,
it's all gone. It's done. So
buy our t-shirts still.
I got one more, actually. I forgot to say last week that we also now have a bunch of social media accounts,
we do.
But not on any of the good social media. So if you happen to want to follow us,
that is true.
That's another place you can reach out to us. I'll put those in the episode descriptions.
Yeah, we didn't pick any of the mainstream ones.
Because we don't like them. We don't like any of them.
We don't.
So it's mostly smoke signals and Morse code and a third funny one.
I was just about to say, and if you live above Nantucket, you can see an airplane flying with our flag banner and a QR code for you to scan.
You can use semaphore to respond to that airplane. Is that what it's called? Flag talk?
Yes.
Semaphore?
Yep.
I didn't know that.
Boy Scout Brady with the quick answer there.
I mean, you're the one who pulled semaphore out of fucking nowhere.
Yeah, I didn't even know what the hell that was.
Boy Scout Stu.
I know every method of communication. This week, we have a BuzzFeed Presents Apocalypse come to us by our very own Brady, who has not even considered starting to think about what his question is going to be. He's Googling all questions right now.
I was about to say, you said you had a good one.
I do have a good one. This week's BuzzFeed Presents Apocalypse. Your list is: list your top 3 fictional characters who you would trust to keep watch while you sleep during the apocalypse.
Oh, that's a tough one.
Easy peasy. Got all 3 without thinking. I'm going to say one at a time off the top of my head. Lloyd Dobler from Say Anything. He will play beautiful, wonderful, in your eyes music to me with his boombox.
I said fictional.
Yeah. He's fictional? What?
They said isn't Say Anything a band?
The movie.
Oh, okay.
God. What a fool.
I don't know. Is Say Anything a band?
Yes, it's my favorite band, but also a pretty good movie with John Cusack.
Oh, is that the one with the boombox or the cards?
Yes, that was what I just referenced.
Got it. Okay, yes. I'm sorry.
He would watch me sleep and I would feel safe. Also, I will choose Ramona from Scott Pilgrim vs. the World, because she can go into different universes using tunnels magically and get the necessary information to keep me safe while I'm sleeping. That was the question, right?
Yeah. Who would you trust to keep you safe while you're sleeping?
Third answer, Godzilla.
Oh, shit. Good choice.
He is always able to win in a 1v1 fight, even against Mothra, my most famous enemy.
Good choice.
3 for 3.
Wow.
Perfect.
I don't think I can compete with that.
Dream thruple.
Well, this is going to be a tough one to answer from Ocean's perspective, because I think it's really from anyone's perspective. But who would Ocean trust? Ocean would trust Aragorn from Lord of the Rings.
Hell yeah.
Because he's a trustworthy, friendly dude.
Too smelly.
And he fights really well. He would trust, I was about to list another Lord of the Rings character, and I'm like, I can't do that.
Samwise Gamgee. He would trust Smeagol. 3 for 3. Done.
Okay, so Ocean would trust Indiana Jones.
You're just taking Brady's
You
breath.
really are.
This is some hate drafting.
You really are.
And
Han Solo seance.
no, I was going to say, oh, fuck. And you would trust Stanley from Holes. because I think in their universe, when they are together, they would be vibing and be good friends. So he'd trust them. So we got two very capable guys, and then one guy he just likes vibing with and trusts.
Nice.
Pretty good. No Godzilla in there, but
God, I mean, that's an amazing answer.
Okay, so Book, his first pick would be one of the owls from Guardians of Ga'Hoole,
What a strange choice.
a movie that I've never seen. But owls have very good night vision.
Book would see. I mean, that does seem like a movie Book would like.
Yeah.
just to real quick interrupt you, John Cusack also has excellent night vision.
So does Aragorn. He's part elf.
Oh
He's a
my
Dunedain.
God.
That's true. We all got night vision covered.
Okay.
Good.
Then Book would pick the dragon Glader from the Aragon series.
Why that one? Why not Saphira?
Don't know this
Why
dragon.
not Saphira?
Because
Why wouldn't you pick
Glader's
Saphira?
fucking 10 times bigger, or 5 times bigger than Saphira.
Yeah, but Saphira's nice and friendly and loves everybody and is super good.
Why not Smaug?
Well, Glader's friendly and loves everybody.
Yeah, I guess that's fair. That's true.
And he would, I could curl up under, Book could curl up under Glader's wing and feel super cozy and protected.
Nice Freudian slip there.
Indeed. Very
I didn't
much
catch
so,
it.
yes. And then the last one is, I got this. R2-D2, dependable little droid, getting into little scrapes, scurrying around, always very watchful.
I wouldn't trust him. I don't know if I'd trust R2-D2 because that little scamp's always getting into mischief.
Yep.
Who knows what kind of wacky misadventure he'd go on while you're sleeping.
But he's got a 360-degree view.
That's true. That is
He's
true.
As much as a human does. Maybe worse. That thing turns so slow.
he's a dependable little guy. He's always in the right place in the right time.
What's he going to do when there's danger? Yell at you, play the same hologram for the 14th time, shoot a lightsaber into the ceiling so it falls on your head,
He's going to go,
use a laser that he only uses in the past for some
Oh, that's
reason.
true. He did have a gun. I forgot that he had a gun.
I just wanted something that was a computer because I was like, computers don't need to sleep. I was going to say GLaDOS from Portal, but I was like,
would
GLaDOS would
not
try to
trust
rip me in half.
GLaDOS. I would not trust GLaDOS in the slightest.
But she's very attentive.
If you were going to sleep for 1,000 years, it would be perfect.
That's true. Who's the one that helps Chell?
Wheatley does, but then doesn't.
But then he goes crazy in the end.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's worse than GLaDOS.
Yeah, but I would
probably.
trust Wheatley in the beginning.
No, Wheatley is dumb. That's the whole point of Wheatley.
Okay, I'll stick with R2-D2. I like R2-D2.
I would trust Cave Johnson over
Yeah,
everyone else.
Cave Johnson would be a good choice.
I don't know who that is. Is this another real human?
No, it's a Portal reference.
Oh.
There are between 4 and 7 characters in the entire Portal series.
Yeah.
I don't.
He's the
Yes.
old school CEO.
Yes, I do remember that.
I'm going to get hate mail because I didn't include Companion Cube in my list of Portal characters.
I would trust Companion Cube to watch me as I sleep. There you go. That should be your answer.
Oh my God.
I also think all 3 of mine could win in a fight between any of 3 of yours. Easy peasy.
I think 2 of yours could easily, that could be toss up. Aragorn might be able to beat John Cusack in a fight. Probably.
Definitely.
He knows kickboxing. How many times do I have to say this? How many episodes do I have to remind you guys that he has a black belt in kickboxing or whatever the equivalent is?
But the problem arises when Godzilla shows up.
That is true. That is true. I was like, how could Stu's team beat my team? I've got a giant. Oh God. I forgot about Godzilla. I feel like Godzilla would step on you in your sleep though.
No, he's a good guy. Depends on which Godzilla movie you're watching,
He
actually.
wouldn't know you're there.
He would know I'm
Yeah,
there.
you got a spiritual connection.
I'm impressed.
When I look into his eyes, I feel it.
That's good.
In your eyes, the light, the heat ray.
In your eyes.
Well, with all of that, with those 9 fictional characters that are apparently our favorite to watch us sleep, very creepy question, Brady.
Thank you.
Let's get back to the action. Last episode, you guys immolated a tentacled monster, made it to the bottom of the Moonwell, and found some weird power structure laboratory type place. As you did some poking around, Ocean learned about the past of this strange energy-wielding device, and Book found a recording of an encounter between Ocean and his parents here that happened many years ago. We ended last episode with Book dramatically pushing all of that information down and asking Ocean what he had found out by using his thing speak on the central reactor. Let's pick up with Ocean's response.
It's odd. He looks and it's like, I think this was created before even Subtropolis was made. Like whatever this is, it's man-made and it works. I looked through its history and I didn't see anything saying I didn't see anything wrong with it. I think this could be it. This could be our power.
Can I turn the red lights off?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's an easy button. It's one more push on there. And you actually hear that door doesn't close all the way. It just kind of seems to re-engage the hydraulics on it and it like starts lowering down. But that door seems fucked up, like it wasn't supposed to be jammed open at some point. So it comes back to normal. The annoying voice stops and you're in this room with that central point is still glowing. Ocean's got 2 of these juicy power cores and a bunch of terminals and computer screens and shit.
All right.
And you can read. So if you want to check some of those out.
Yeah. Well, so did I learn anything interesting from the terminal that I was looking at before?
Yes. They explain kind of the process for how this works through a fun Mr. Dino DNA type neutrino.
Dino DNA.
And he goes, a lot of people don't realize that the sun is barfing out
And there's an animation of a sun with cool sunglasses and he just goes, "Blah."
billions and billions of neutrinos every second.
And it shows him moving along, booking down a highway in a cool red convertible.
These little boys are so small, we don't even usually hit the earth. We just fly right through it.
And he goes, whoop, and zooms all the way through the earth and then skids on the other side.
But sometimes we do hit stuff.
And it zooms in and shows a little collision and a little flash of blue, just like a little bloop.
Now, for years, scientists have been trying to figure out ways of harnessing this nearly limitless amount of energy. But it's taken a lot of advancements in material sciences, in quantum physics.
And there's like a bunch of blackboards behind him that are filling up with complicated equations. And he's looking confused.
But the short answer is, we can now direct these to a point where we can force those collisions and harness the energy.
And you get a very cartoony looking version of the reactor.
But what do we do with this? Well, the reason we want to build this so far under the ground is we can collect from the entire crust layer of the Earth, which increases our volume by some percent that is accurate that Stu doesn't know. And the cool thing about harnessing energy in this way is you can shoot us wherever you want us. So with one centralized station here, we can cover 40% of the Earth's area as long as you have receptacles in the right locations.
And it shows him zooming in, landing in kind of that cartoony reactor, and then getting a bunch of readings, and it becomes like a Star Wars fighter pilot view of coordinates. And he flies in and zooms in right to a location that then explodes, and he flies into a power outlet and comes out of a little lamp, and the light bulb turns on.
As simple as that.
And you realize it's also run by the Standard Electric General Power Corporation company. And it was built quite a while ago. Again, you have no fucking idea how calendar works, but it's older than all of the calendars that you guys have ran into. I think that answers all of your questions.
Damn.
Yeah.
Was that all said in a way that Ocean could hear it?
Yes.
Okay.
This was a cartoon. There was almost no words.
Okay.
Great.
Perfect.
Great for you.
So this is basically like a beehive through the whole crust of the Earth.
Well,
That means that some of these tunnels must get us pretty close.
I guess that explains what this thing does. And he holds the little concrete slab up. Guess there's no point in returning it at this point.
That was some unnecessary weight for everything you guys just did.
Yeah, I guess that was used to move the neutrinos around from everywhere to here. Does that mean we're in the center of the Earth? There's no way we're in the center of the Earth.
Give me a sharp roll.
Okay.
I'll write you up a custom roll for this later. Custom moves.
Ooh, baby. Okay. I think these dice.
Only have 2 numbers on them? Yeah, Bowser. I've played Mario Party.
So
I know how it works.
I've rolled a 3 and a 5 in this configuration. The blue 3, the gold 5. Anyway, it's an 11, which I don't feel bad about. I've failed plenty of rolls, people.
You go poking around these terminals, and with some of Ocean's hacker man expertise that he doesn't fully understand, you're able to navigate around some other things, and you pull up a few useful views. The one that flashes the most at you is there seems to be like a status screen for the central reactor. and it says it's working fine. Everything looks good. You don't know what many of the numbers mean, but there's a lot of like 99% and things like that, which seem good unless it's like temperature before exploding, but they don't seem to be labeled that way. It has spots for data for 5 power cores. And for some reason, it has their charge level and their location in them in coordinates. And 2 of them are exactly where you're at, basically. It gets real specific, though. So they are actually different. It literally gives you a different reading for the ones on different pockets in Ocean. These are like crazy hyper specific.
Oh, shit.
And poking around a little bit, you figure out that this reactor actually shoots neutrinos to all of the power cores to recharge them. It knows where they're at and re-provides power to them constantly.
Even the little ones?
So, good question. You see, for some reason, the one that's labeled 5, it has like 40 different coordinates.
Oh.
And it doesn't even look like this view was made for having 40 coordinates, but it's just fucking bleeding over the edge of the screen, basically. There's like bad line breaks, and it has a ton of different coordinates listed for this one power.
Oh, strange. So they've divided one power core up
Very interesting.
a shit ton of ways.
And then the last interesting one has a coordinate that kind of makes sense. You don't know what it is. I think with your other studies, your moon studies, it's near Hamlet opening. You would not be surprised if it was the tower. And then there's one that has a vastly different third number on its coordinate that seems like it's way above you.
Oh, shit.
Wow. Okay.
So is that all 5 coordinate? 5,
Yes. 2 are with you.
okay.
1 is roughly Hamlet opening, maybe the tower location. 1 is split up into like a 40, and 1 is way above you. And with your math of previous surface distances, it seems like it's somewhere around that area.
Sorry. Okay. So I got 2 with Ocean, 1 near Hamlet opening, 1 split
into a bunch, and then 1 with your mama on the surface.
Wow. Book writes down all of the coordinates.
Some of the 40, a lot of them are changing pretty quickly. But yes, it's lat long and a third number.
Oh, he doesn't write down all the 40. It'd take too long.
The other ones are roughly stationary, but they're all, like I mentioned, it's like a bunch of decimal places.
Right.
They are all moving some.
Sure.
None of them very quickly, but all a little bit.
I just want to use it to figure out where we are on the Earth.
As you do this, I'm going to say you chill and do some math, try to figure some stuff out. You figure out 1 is Vesuvius back at the Spider.
Nice.
And you kind of get an idea of a more specific location for exactly where you're at.
Is this like a tablet? Is this fixed to the, can we take this?
No, it is fixed to, there's a huge server. There's a bunch of servers around here, and it looks like it's connected to one of those.
If we could set up a monitor, we could track a lot the scary parts of the Wolves of the Maelstrom.
That's what I was wondering, if there's a way we could use this to track them.
Ooh, baby.
But I don't know how we would easily get back and forth from here.
Yes, this is probably the most inconvenient location.
Yeah, but it doesn't have to be us. well, no. We would have to still be able to communicate with them with whatever's down here. I was thinking like we have. Oh man, Book has a camera in his pocket that Ocean doesn't know about. So he's like, could I set up something where I'm transmitting? Book thinks about like the thing that we gave to the people in the stew that's transmitting. Like it's definitely possible to make this tracker. But I don't think we have the materials with us. This place is certainly being powered by something, correct?
Probably being powered by the big ass reactor that's powering all this shit.
Probably by itself.
Well, yeah, but I mean, like, there's got to be a way for us to also, we could potentially tie directly into this and not just use those mobile power cores.
There's power outlets.
We need the world's longest extension cable.
Yeah, we do need the world's longest extension cable.
What I'm thinking is if one of these is enough to power the whole fucking tower, because there's only one at the tower that we can see, right?
Yes, I will say, to interrupt you before you go further.
Okay.
You counting all of these, you know that if this is the only source of them, which you don't know if that's true, then the tower was running before this, before you reclaimed, I guess not reclaimed, the power core for it. Just saying that. Just adding that context. Tower existed. You were silent before. Doesn't mean there wasn't like another one. There could be another one of these places somewhere else. Oh, yeah, I meant to answer that question before. Sorry. You are certainly not in the center of the earth. You're nowhere fucking close. Based on the coordinates you have, you're still well into the crust, but you are in a lower part of the crust.
So there's potentially multiple nodes of these.
Maybe. You don't know how many are necessary. You don't really know how much power each one outputs.
Yeah. We don't know a lot of shit.
Yeah. Seems like a lot at least. But yes, this is just kind of a big spider web on one portion of the Earth's surface.
Interesting.
I wish you could be in the center of the Earth. That'd be really cool. But
that would be.
All my science-based Dragon MMO work has said you can.
All the research.
Okay. Well, there's a big pool of water in the other room, so that's neat. Hey, Stu, in the video, was the water there?
You couldn't see it. She just pointed in the other direction. But before that video, it seemed like your parents were traveling through water. So
I wonder if this connects to the stew.
So when we were in the stew, this is out of character because obviously Book and Ocean wouldn't be talking about this. But out of character, after the lighthouse, my parents said that they were going up to where the boxcar children were.
The baffles, yeah.
They were taking a long circuitous road. They weren't going through the long dark, which is our shortcut.
Yes.
Okay, that makes sense. So they probably did a little submersible action to get to the Moonwell on the way to the baffles. That's neat. Whew. Hey, Ocean.
Yeah. Any ideas?
How are we getting out of here?
I guess there's a lot of stuff around here. I can try and repair our grapple gun and then we can just climb the rope out.
Do we have the grapple gun?
Yes, you have the gun, but not the grapple.
So we'd have to completely manufacture another one.
There's got to be a map in here, right?
Poke around on the screens, bloop, there's a map of the facility. It doesn't look like it's a map of the full ass structure of all the tunnels and shit above you, but it's a map of the ground floor facility.
Are there any like stairwells that have an arrow pointed up?
Yes, you go check them out. They are long since collapsed, destroyed. There's elevators that looked like at some point they went way fucking up. Like there's more floors above you and they're all super fucked.
Is there anything in the map that would help us figure out a way to get to the surface? Or not the surface, get back up to fake Vesuvius.
There are storerooms, there are manufacturing areas, there are cafeterias, stuff like that would help you have enough time to maybe put something back together, but you think your only way out is back through the Moonwell. So
either way,
it'd be really handy right now, like a giant octopus just kind of pick us up and pull us back to the top.
Yeah, maybe if you asked him how his day was going instead of burning him to death.
I'm just doubtful.
To maybe death.
I'm somewhat doubtful that would work. Yeah, I think we can. I think it's pretty feasible that we could recreate the grapple gun.
Give me an try something challenging roll, Ocean.
Okay. Oh, that's a 12. Wait, no, that's a 10. That's just a straight 10.
While Ocean is doing that, Book wants to look for like a big kind of wheel or something. Basically, what I'd like to do is I want to set up like one half of a pulley that we could use, like not necessarily to hold our weight, but as a means of like potentially upgrading the infrastructure around the Moonwell, if that makes sense. So like obviously we need 6 miles of rope to go from all the way around,
Yeah, that's a lot of rope.
But at least to start, I want to set up like an anchor point where we could tie stuff off to.
Yeah, you can set up something like that. In your scroungings of all this stuff, Ocean, you're able to find enough, and you find some like dry food stores. So you guys realize even if it takes quite a while, you'll be okay. You're not going to starve down here. None of it's good food. It's all stuff that is made to last a long time, but it is still gone past that. Book, while you're trying to construct this on the ground floor, you do not hear any tentacle-based rumblings going on. It's mostly the only thing you hear is the occasional chatter from Vesuvius checking in on you guys and making sure everything's okay. And over the next probably couple days, you're able to reconstruct your grappling gun, find enough equipment to get what you think is enough rope and cable together to kind of scale back up. And unless there's anything else you want to do down here, you can start your long, arduous climb to the top of the Moonwell, or at least back to Vesuvius.
Over those couple of days, I think whenever Ocean's like sleeping or whatever, bathroom breaks, Book is trying to find ways to access the security tapes.
Okay, give me one more. Try something challenging.
That was an 8, but this time it was a 4 and a 4 plus 0.
With a mixed success, you are able to access the security cameras. Through some of your guys' scrounging, you end up finding like a security badge in a drawer somewhere. And when Ocean's sleeping, you go scrounge around for a computer. I've said scrounge like 12 times.
I mean, it's a very accurate word.
Scrounging.
Yes, you go paw around at different keyboards until you find one that takes the credentials. It's a little chip card you slide in somewhere, and it gives you, it's in a back room that has a bunch of huge flat screens on it that show you a lot of different security cameras. Luckily for you, it has some motion-based tagging of information, so you're able to jump through it very quickly, because most of the time there's not a lot of movement down here. You see some movement, the things that slow you down, or you see some movement of masses of tentacles occasionally, but you eventually go back all the way to seeing Ocean somewhere. But as you try to piece through the different views of him, there's no camera in that emergency exit room. So the whole exchange back there is off camera. But you do see a couple important things. You see him and Kara smashing into the bottom with a huge chain they were holding on. So somehow they were able to scale all the way down here with a chain. You see their escape back up is there seemed to be some sort of infrastructure that the Silent were building that ended up making like a big loop of chain all the way from the top to the bottom. And they had to build that bottom part down here based with equipment they brought. And then they're finally able to activate it and bring it up. And you saw him bringing your dad with him. And you do see that whole last conversation that your dad had with Ocean in the reactor room, telling him that he needs to go find you. The same one Ocean had in his ThingSpeak vision.
So the playing field has leveled. All right.
We both have the same information.
I like that. All right. Cool.
So I guess all you really learned from that is that your dad was alive. Ocean healed him. You did actually see that happen on camera too, because I was outside of that room. And that based on their words, they were bringing him back to the tower, which you didn't know that at all yet, although we all did.
Yes, indeed. Interesting. Very interesting. All right.
Anything else you want to do before you head up?
I mean, we do a bunch of investigating, but I think, did we get all the information you wanted us to get?
Maybe. I told you, I don't have information I want you
He
to get.
figures it
I
out.
didn't even have a name for the Dino DNA neutrino guy.
Stu, I want to know if this area of the map has turned gray yet or not.
There's always more stuff.
I can't think of anything else we could possibly glean from this.
You guys did get a ton of information.
Yeah.
All right.
One thing, while we're doing all this work, Ocean wants to be watching and tracking what the Silent are up to see if where they're going.
That's
if they
interesting.
do anything, whether they're moving or just kind of watch their movements.
Oh yeah. Yeah, Book definitely keeps like a record of the regular movements of the locations of all the different dots.
Okay. The big things you realize from this are some of the dots almost never move, like barely a few decimal places at all. Just always. Yeah, there's some that have basically the same number from the first time you got down here till when you leave a few days later. The rest of them, Ocean and you in particular, after like a day of staring at these fucking numbers, you, for some reason, almost get like a really good understanding and a mental map of what they mean. Like you're actually able to picture these little coordinates changing, translating into dots of people moving around. It seems like the vast majority of them are all pretty close to the tower. None of them have done any crazy things. It almost seems like they've been contracted around there. Very few are going out. Like you'll see some, like a small handful of them seem to travel a good amount for a day or two and then come back. But that's pretty much it.
Are any of the ones that are like completely stationary, are any of them not coincidental with the tower itself?
Nope, they're all very close to
But meaning like very close, but could any of them be outside the tower but also stationary?
You don't think so?
That is inconvenient, but also what I would expect. All right, let's crank our asses up.
I was saying, we're getting out of here.
It takes you a couple days to scale back up to Vesuvius. You're able to, with all the materials you get, you're able to set up a nice little hammock to rest down for the night a couple times. But eventually you make it all the way back up to the spider, where you have a nice, happy Vesuvius at your back who smells strongly of gasoline.
One moment, Stu.
Yes. You want to retrieve your bicycle.
No, I don't give a fuck about the bicycle thing. Is Book on like Ocean's shoulders as we're cranking up?
If you want to be.
I mean, I assume you're probably.
I don't know how else
It's
we would
either
do
you're
it.
on my shoulders or yeah. We'll say you're on my shoulders.
Or I'm just like climbing above you so you can catch me if I fall.
That would take a million years.
Okay, fine.
I like the shoulders idea.
You could be on a rope behind him, pretending to help, pretending to support your own weight when you can, like when there's ledges and stuff.
I think Book, I don't know how we got the majority of the way there, but I think for that last, just to get over that last lip to the point where we can kind of stand up and walk again, I think Book arranges it so that he can clamber up first.
You want to make it to the spider first, basically, is what you're saying?
Just give me a second. I'm cooking. I think Book kind of clambers up and gets out of Ocean's plane of view as Ocean's head peeks up over the edge of the Moonwell. He sees me standing with the tip of my sword against the rope of the grapple gun.
Oh, shit.
And I don't think I have to say anything. I think it's already a pretty heightened situation. And I'd like to use my stern presence.
Roll it.
Uh-oh, God.
Plus hard, right?
Yes.
Your best stat.
Oh, I really hope this passes.
That was a joke. That's his lowest stat for the listener.
Oh, 12.
Oh, no.
12 minus
Shit, you're
1.
not. No, 12 plus minus 0, right? Oh, no, 12 minus 1. So it's an 11.
Oh,
You're right.
no. What does that mean?
Yes.
Tell him what that means.
That means, Jacob, that if you have intentionally told lies, betrayed trust, sown confusion, they cannot meet my eyes.
Okay.
Also, if you need my help, they meet and hold my eyes. So this is a bit of a quandary because hypothetically both of these. So I guess Vesuvius. So this would apply to everybody in the situation. So it applies to Vesuvius and Ocean. You can only choose one. So
Ocean's standing there. He's kind of holding the rope at the.
he's not standing. He's dangling from a rope.
No, he's holding the rope, climbing up, and he looks up and he sees Book staring down at him with like cold, I imagine like very cold and angry eyes, just big, wide, staring at him with the sword, holding it at the rope. And Ocean kind of sits there for a second and he looks at Book and then he looks away and he says, "You know, don't you?"
Thank you so much for listening to this week's episode of Oops, All Apocalypses. In the episode description, you'll see a link tree that goes to just all of our shit. Easiest link to follow to find anything related to us. As per usual, the music and editing was performed by Stu Masterson. Brady McDonough made all the logos and most of our t-shirt art. And Jacob tells us how much cob would a Jacob cob if a Jacob could cob Jake. Love you, bye. Now, a lot of people don't realize that DNA shit.